Solved problems. Journal entries, ledger accounts, and trial balance. Problem. After graduation from AIOU, Aftab Ahmad entered into private practice. The transactions of the business are as follows. March 1. Started business with equipment 25,000 rupees. March 3. Deposited 20,000 in his business bank account. March 9. Paid 300 rupees for 2 months rent in advance. March 12. Purchased medical supplies for rupees 2,000 from Mr. Ajaz. March 15. Purchased equipment on credit from Jafar Bros for rupees 4,000, making 1/4 down payment. March 18. Paid 1,900 by check to Mr. Ajaz in full settlement of his account. March 27. Provided services for 3,500. March 28. Made a partial payment of rupees 50 on the equipment purchased. March 30. Paid a utility bill for rupees 40. Required. Record the above entries in the journal. Post them into ledger accounts. 3. Prepare a trial balance. In the books of Mr. Aftab Ahmad, journal. March 1. Started business with equipment 25,000. March 1. Equipment debtor 25,000 to Mr. Aftab Ahmad, capital 25,000, credit, being the business started with equipment. March 3. Deposited 20,000 rupees in his business bank account. March 3. Bank account debtor 20,000 to Aftab Ahmad, capital, being the amount deposited into business. March 9. Paid rupees 300 for 2 months rent in advance. March 9. Rent expense debtor 300 to bank account credit 300, being the rent paid for 2 months. March 12. Purchased medical supplies for rupees 2,000 from Mr. Ajaz. March 12. Purchases debit 2,000 to accounts payable credit 2,000, being the medical supplies bought from Mr. Ajaz. March 15. Purchased equipment on credit from Jafar Brothers for rupees 4,000, making 1/4 down payment. March 15. Equipment debtor 4,000 to bank credit 1,000 to accounts payable credit 3,000, being the equipment bought. March 18. Paid rupees 1,900 by check to Mr. Ajaz in full settlement of his account. March 18. Accounts payable debit 2,000 to bank credit 1,900 to discount received 100, being the amount paid to Mr. Ajaz in full settlement. March 27. Provided services for a fee of 3,500. March 27. Cash account debit 2,500 to services income 3,500, being the services provided. March 28. Made a partial payment of rupees 50 on the equipment purchased. March 28. Accounts payable debit 50 rupees to cash 50 rupees, being the partial payment made on equipment bought. March 30. Paid a utility bill for rupees 40. March 30. Utility debtor 40 rupees to cash 40 rupees, being the utility bill paid. In the books of Mr. Aftab Ahmad, ledger, cash account. March 27. Service income debit 3,500. March 28. Accounts payable credit 50 rupees. March 30. Utility 40 rupees credit. Closing balance 3,410. Debit. Bank account. March 5. Mr. Aftab Ahmad, capital 20,000. Debit. March 9. Rent expense credit 300. March 15. Equipment credit 1,000. March 18. Accounts payable credit 1,900. Closing balance 16,800. Equipment account. March 1. Mr. Aftab Ahmad, capital 25,000. Debit. March 15. Bank debit 1,000. March 15. Accounts payable debit 3,000. Total 29,000. Debit. Accounts payable account. March 12. Purchases credit 2,000. March 15. Equipment credit 3,000. March 18. Bank credit 1,900. March 18. Discount received credit 100. March 28. Cash debit 50 rupees. Closing balance 2,950. Mr. Aftab Ahmad, capital account. March 1. Equipment 25,000 credit. March 3. Bank 20,000 credit. Total closing balance 45,000 rupees. Credit. Purchases account. March 12. Accounts payable debit 2,000. Closing balance 2,000 rupees. debit. Services income account March 27 cash credit 3500, closing balance 3500 credit. Discount received account March 18 accounts payable credit 100 rupees, closing balance credit 100 rupees. Rent expense account March 9 bank 300 rupees debit, closing balance 300 rupees debit. Utility account March 30 cash account debit 40 rupees, closing balance debit 40 rupees. In the books of Mr. Aftab Ahmed, trial balance as at 31st March. Particulars debit credit. Cash debit 3410. Bank debit 16,800. Equipment debit 29,000. Accounts payable credit 2,950. Mr. Aftab Ahmed capital credit 45,000. Purchases debit 2,000. Services income credit 3,500. Discount received credit 100. Rent expense debit 300 rupees. Utility expense debit 40 rupees. Total debits 51,550. Total credits 51,550. Recap. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel Accounts Lobby for various solved problems and lectures on accountancy.